Hi, this is Peter Punzi, horticulture guy, and I'm here at the Edgewood Flower Farm, and we're going to talk today about organic fertilizers. And the reason I like organic fertilizers is because not only do they feed your plants, they feed your soil. And the reason I say that is they have nutrients, but they also have organic matter, which feeds all the microorganisms in the soil. And as the microorganisms break down the fertilizers, they release nutrients to the plants. So the soil benefits, and so do your plants. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the single ingredient fertilizers that are usually used to make combination fertilizers that you might buy. But you can also buy the single fertilizers individually. We'll start out with Alfalfa Meal, and this is actually from ground up alfalfa plants. And it's it's a good source of nitrogen. It's 2.5% nitrogen, 1% phosphorus, and 1% potash. Rosarians love Alfalfa Meal because it really benefits rose plants. They really do well with this type of fertilizer. It's also used in composting because it has a good carbon-nitrogen ratio, which actually helps decomposition. Next we have blood meal, and this is a byproduct of the slaughter industry, and it is a very good source of nitrogen. Some people don't want to use these type of products because they come from animals, and therefore they may be more inclined to use something like soybean meal, which is also a good source of nitrogen, about 7%, has 2% phosphorus and 1% potash, and is actually ground up soybeans, dried up soybeans. Next we have cottonseed meal, and this also is a good source of nitrogen. It is actually a byproduct of the cotton industry, and what they do is they press the cotton seeds, extract the oil, and then they grind them up. It's actually good for food too, so it's not always easy to find because it's used as a food source, but it makes a great fertilizer when you can find it. Next we have kelp meal, and kelp meal is ground up kelp or seaweed. And what's neat about this is since it comes from the ocean, not only does it have nutrients that are found in kelp, which is a plant, it also has the nutrients that you find in salt water, which are all the minerals. So you get a lot of minerals in addition to a lot of potash, which it is a good source of. So this is one of my favorite fertilizers. I use a lot of kelp, and when I don't use kelp, I also use seaweed emulsion, which is a liquid form of the same thing. We also have, now we're moving toward more rock-based products. This is called rock phosphate. Great source of phosphorus, long-lasting. It lasts for 5 years when you put it in the soil. It's about 3%, and it actually will last, 3% actually goes for 5 years. It will release over 5 years. So you don't want to use too much of this because it will last for 5 years. And then finally, we have a product called green sand. And like its name, you can see it's got a nice green color. It's mined from marine deposits, and again, it's made of silica and iron. Potassium silicate is actually what it's made of. And what it does is it contains all the minerals that are in the ocean as well. So when you use that, you get a good source of nutrients from the sea. If you want to learn more about organic fertilizers, go to my website, horticultureguy.com. And until I see you again, live long and garden.